Good evening, Demon Phil here with another hell of a show. We got a hell of an intro going on here now too. I have got a great friend, Meredith Lochran, went ahead and made that video for me. Thank you very much, Meredith. That is the reveal of the new intro there. So let me know in the comments if you can see and hear me. I'd certainly appreciate that. Let's go ahead and start getting this thing shared out, and we will get started here very shortly. Hopefully everyone enjoyed the new intro on there, because if that didn't get you pumped up, I don't know what else much I can do on there to get you pumped up, but we're wired up for this show, so we're getting ready to go here very shortly. Dan, Ed, Sarah, thank you all for being here. Appreciate all of y'all being here tonight. We're going to give this about another minute here to go ahead and get started. Let's get some shares out there. We've got some information. We might even have a reveal or something. Tom may be feeling frisky on this one. You never know. Scott, thank you for being here. Hey, I appreciate that. I do like that intro. All right, so everything's set up on my end, ready to go. Everything's set up over here. So I think we're ready to go ahead and make this official. Demon Phil's hell of a show. We are here with yet another one. We've had some great shows in the past, and we're just going to keep going with that momentum and getting it more and more. What we created where the tempo is a little bit higher on this one, took that volume control to 11 on the intro. So let's go ahead and keep it up with what we got going on tonight. First and foremost, we're going to thank our sponsors on this. Our sponsors are Totally Rad Comics. Totally Rad Comics is Jim Noble has got Totally Rad Life of Zira, which is on Indiegogo right now, which I believe is only in its last few days, if I'm not mistaken. So if you haven't gone over there, check that out. Go look on Indiegogo now and go look for Totally Rad Life of Zira and pick that up. Codex Entertainment, which is Luis Torres, which has got Lily the Demoness and Ace and Starlet. Luis is actually working on a project that he has got slated to come out in October. More information about that as we move along. Naughty Fairies. Naughty Fairies is Wendy Steen Shaner. As we all know, she's had some great projects in the past. And she's going to be talking about a big one tonight as well, because she is one of my 3 guests that are here tonight. So be looking for that, because she has Naughty Fairy Stripper Assassins, which has done some amazing work in the past, and we're looking to see what it's going to do in the future, and we'll be talking about that as well. 183 Degree Studio, which is Kara Nicole, Alfred Trujillo, have Confessions of a Cosplay Diva, and Fire Bitch. Fire Bitch 2 is supposed to be coming the end of this month. Definitely looking forward to that one coming out. And of course, we have Pantsless Pizza. No one can forget the Pantsless Pizza on there. And I'm going to go ahead and point out and give a shout out right now. If you can see my shirts, do we see Russ Explode Studios right over here somewhere? There we go. We're backwards. Russ Explode Studios. And then over here, we got Pantsless Pizza. So I am officially a part of the Pantsless Pizza Nation now, but thanks to Russell. So we're working on some big reveals coming out with that one, so be ready there. Now, aside from that, tonight, we're going to be talking ClickCon. You've been seeing this right up here for quite some time with the ClickCon 2020 up here. So go ahead and remind you, September 12th, there is a huge online con that is coming. Now, everybody kind of thinks, well, online con, we've done that before. What's the difference on this? That's what we're going to talk about tonight. We've already kind of touched on it on another show, and we're going to go ahead and do an update tonight. So let's go ahead and bring our guest up here. First and foremost, it is ladies first. So here is Wendy Steen Shaner.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome to the show. And then we have got Tom Hutchison.
Howdy.
And then we have got CB Zane.
Hello, all. My head was supposed to spin around, in honor of the Demon Phil thing, but it didn't work. So we went with the hat.
Well, let me see. We got comments going all over the place over here. So we've got Eve came in here. Thank you for being here, Eve. Steph is here. So now we're in trouble in the comments. Mike Weslowski. I swear I'm gonna get it right one of these days, Mike. I swear. Mike, thank you for being here. Lewis is here. Thank you for being here. We got a full boat here tonight, and maybe that's because I'm gonna go ahead and point out right now before he has a chance to do so. Tom is celebrating his 7th regular show appearance on here, which makes him the one person who has been on here more times than anybody else.
What?
So, before we get started into everything, if there's anybody out there, and I don't know who it would possibly be, but if anybody doesn't know who you are, we're going to start off with Wendy on this one and say who you are and where to find you.
I'm Wendy Steen Shaner. I'm the creator of Naughty Fairy Stripper Assassins. You can find me at my Etsy store. I have it at etsy.com and it's Naughty Fairies.
Very cool. And CB, what about you?
Well, I am CB Zane, and I have created Into the Suck, my sci-fi adventure comic book. I am co-creator of Scorpiana along with Mike Shoemaker, and I am part of ClickCon, where I am introducing my character, the Mighty Might.
Absolutely. And we're going to talk about her very shortly. And Tom, what about you?
I am everywhere at all times. Everybody knows that already. Tom Hutchison. I am the publisher of Big Dog Inc. Comics, writer, creator of Critter, Penny for Your Soul, Legend of Oz, Ursa Minor, Lights, Camera, Jungle, Antoinette. I ran out of breath. You can find the rest of the stuff that we do at BigDogInc.com or Twitter or Instagram, all that kind of stuff. And now, for the first time, I have decided to dive into the crossover pool in some unique fashion with these guys. And I blame Wendy.
It's always my fault.
We all kind of blame Wendy because she did so well with her con that she did at the beginning of the year, and it set new standards for everyone else to kind of follow. And that's why I'm really, on a personal note, I'm waiting to see exactly what's going to happen with this one, because if Wendy did so well, and now we're going to add in 2 more big brains into this one.
Well, one more. and then, you know.
Aw, poor CB.
CB, don't cry. Trust me, you don't want to do it. You got 2 to the And let me go ahead and bring this up real quick. Heirs of Isildur, which I believe would be Matt over there watching right now. Demon Phil, not in a black shirt. Did not know it was possible. That is true. But I am repping for Russ Explode Studios since he went ahead and sent me this T-shirt. So thank you, Russell Allen, for that. Now, and speaking of the devil, yeah, I hate saying that out loud. Russell Allen is here now too, so we're in big trouble in the comments, Steph, Russell, and all the rest of them over there. So let's go ahead and fire this thing off. I want to do something different this time. Last time, whenever we had you on as guest, we immediately went into ClickCon and started talking about it and getting the nuts and bolts and all that. What I want to do is kind of go backwards this time and break it apart. So I want to start with Wendy and say, hey, Wendy, can we talk about Cyrenius? Tell us who Cyrenius is and what we're looking for as far as her character.
Okay, so the Cyrenius character has been in book 2 and 3, and she's been our villain. So what her story is going to entail is it's a heavy metal, grimdark fantasy tale that I can't even look over there. I gotta like block it.
Exactly.
So her story is kind of it's not quite a full backstory, but it definitely discusses her demons in becoming the villain that she didn't necessarily want to become.
Very cool, because just in the introduction where she was in your last book, it was a very short introduction to her character, and we're all kind of sitting back going, where'd she come from? How did this happen? And she wasn't a side character. She was actually one of the main ones we were looking to see what was going to be going on. So I'm interested to see what she's going to have a part in with your new series with her.
Yeah, well, with book 4, which just went to the printer today to get the proof done up, there's quite a lot, that centers around her. But with our spinoff, it's going to be very exciting. I've been working on her and developing her, and I think you guys are really going to dig her. She's dark, but not everybody starts off that way.
This is true. I think I didn't start off dark at one point. Maybe, kind of, sort of, probably not. CV, what about you? You've got a character in this as well that'd be Mighty Might. You want to tell us about her?
Yeah, so Might made her kind of background appearance in Scorpiana 1. Is just sort of, there's this group called Quest that is looking into this mysterious substance called Quantium that has given people powers, and some people it actually kills. Might it talks about her experience with the Quantium, and she is kind of sweet as apple pie. So I'm guessing she's probably a complete 180 from Wendy's character, Sireness. And I wanted to keep her that way. She's someone who's been in my sketchbook for a long, long time, and being able to like bring her into Scorpiana 1 just in the background, and then in Scorpiana 2 she makes a more significant appearance, helping out like the quest team in there, and so that became the jump off point or the spin off point for ClickCon to bring Might to life. And I think everyone's going to like her. Like Wendy talked about, a dark angle for her character, and everyone starts dark. Might is sort of, your teenager that is sweet as can be, and she's given these powers, and I don't think she reacts to her powers the way that everybody else normally does. Peter Parker is not sure what to do and has to figure it out, and Might takes it a different way. So I think people are really going to like her. She's cute, she's bubbly, she's fun. So yeah, I think, and there's a good moral in the story too, and that was very important to me. In creating her character, I've had a story in mind for actually a superhero group that had sort of this edge to it. And when I started writing Might, I thought, you know what, this is her. This is the story. So it was important that there is that moral and that lesson to be learned in the story as well.
Very cool. And there's two characters right now that have my full attention because, of course, with Wendy's, it's got the darker tail and everything, so it gets my attention. With Might, even though it's the good version of a character and everything, the storyline behind it just gets your attention and makes it to where you want to know more about it. And you're still holding back on some of the things that you're talking about because I don't know what's going on this, but I know the way that this conglomerate goes with this, I can only imagine the story twist that's going to be in there somehow, some way. So we're definitely looking forward to seeing what's going to happen with Might.
Yeah. I'm excited to bring her to the forefront. I've gotten a lot of good feedback on just her appearance. And everything that I've heard about her so far has fit exactly what I was trying to create in her look. So, and I'm excited to see and hoping, fingers crossed, that we get some cosplayers out there that are going to do Might. Because I'd love to see how that looks and how it turns out.
Eve, yeah. Eve's talking to you, Eve.
Eve, I think that CB's talking to you, just in case you didn't hear that well enough. Eve, we're calling you. And we're going to be talking about the cosplay aspect of this here very shortly as well. But first, I believe Tom has a character in here too, just a small one or something.
Yeah.
Nah.
So what's your next question, Phil?
Yeah, next. That's a spoiler alert, and we don't do that here. So my character is the only one who has not technically appeared yet. She is not in any story in any capacity per se, outside of the tangential elements that already exist in Critter, because she is a spinoff from Critter. And in Critter, we've already established that there are multiple parallel dimensions, and each one of them has its own unique version of Critter. So when we did Goth Day back in May, we were going to just do like we did with all the other characters and just make a goth version of Critter and put her on a cover and just, that's our Goth Day. But as I started thinking about it, I realized that it was an opportunity to expand on the multiple dimension idea that already existed within Critter. And so instead of just putting Critter in a black costume or whatever and calling her Goth Critter, I went ahead and actually fleshed out to some degree a new version of Critter, and I called her Catnip. So this is her only appearance so far. It is the cover for Goth Day. Mm-hmm. When we did our, this is just a reprinting of Critter #1. These are available on the Big Dog Inc. website. We still have a few more, even though they were limited to 100 copies. So that's Catnip's really her only appearance. And so Spin-off Comics, which is what we are doing with ClickCon, it's the name of the actual comic book that you guys are going to buy. That will be her technical first full appearance. You can call this the cameo, whatever you want to do it. But first full actual story appearance will be in Spin-off Comics.
And that'll be an argument down the road, the first appearance, first cameo. That'll be one of those things. That'll be the next thing that's Hulk is going to be.
Well, you have to create drama, Phil. You have to make, problems for people to figure out. I mean, you can't make collecting easy.
Now, before I go ahead, I've got to put a picture up on here real quick because I want to show the conglomerate of what all this makes up. But before I do, I want to go ahead and point out that I am almost 30 people into this thing viewing, which is flipping amazing. But I want to see some more hearts and some likes up here. Let's get up here and show these people that we're really excited about this, because ClickCon 2020, September 12th, is going to make up this right here. Let me go ahead and show you. And I want to see that go up as I bring this up, because there is Spin-off Comics. That is the official cover right there with the 3 characters, with the logo up there. If that doesn't get you excited, I don't know what else possibly can. But that is an amazing cover to go ahead and bring all of this together on this.
Yeah, we went ahead and threw CB a bone and let him do the cover.
There was a lot of arm pulling.
And so I kind of designed the cover design, like, the logo, where the placement is and all that. And this is still kind of a mock-up. We might still tweak around with this a little bit. But CB's job, basically, he had to figure out a way to put these characters in a singular situation, but at the same time try and lock them into their own scenarios. So if you look at it from left to right, you'll kind of see 3 unique environments for them to all work in, while at the same time, it all ties together into one image, which is fantastic.
Yeah, they definitely, you can see the different backgrounds that actually go with it. So you see with Catnip, she's actually going up the stairs here and has the darker area that's up here. And of course with Sireness, she's up here singing, got the flames going, because you got to have flames. Steph loves flames, by the way. And then we've got Mighty Mite down here going ahead and holding up the speaker, which I thought was really cool, because the speaker could have just been on the stage, but you're actually showing the power that's involved. But that's not all. If you look at the way this is, I'm just going to go ahead and point out, because I love the way that CB did this. It makes a complete circle, because now there's water down here, so that everything has a very fluid movement through here. Coffee's starting to wear off. That you can actually look at this thing, and everything flows together perfectly. You don't get that a lot, because there's 3 different styles, 3 different characters that are on here, and everything is brought to light. So it was done perfectly as far as I'm concerned, and everyone else should be getting very excited about this cover alone. And this is only the beginning of ClickCon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's your base cover. That's your A cover. Your basic book. There are going to be 9 variant covers, 3 for each character. So it's really structured very well and very easily, so that when somebody comes into the campaign, it's not going to be confusing. It's not, well, I'm buying the Catnip book and I'm going to get the Sireness insides. No. Any book that you buy, you're going to get all 3 stories. It's going to be a 64-page book. Doesn't matter what cover you buy, you will get all 3 stories. It's just a matter of which cover do you want, or do you want all of them? I mean, we can make that happen for you too. So it's going to be a really easy campaign to get involved in. But if you just want the basic book, there's your basic book, and that's a pretty sweet way to start.
Now, of course, that is your Spin-off Comics. That is the name of what you're going with the 3 titles on here and everything. But this is part of ClickCon 2020, and kind of like the showrunner for what's going on with all this. So I'm going to go ahead and ask, and you can only tell me what you're going to tell me, because I know I'm not going to get any further than that. Everybody who doesn't know anything about ClickCon, let's go ahead and give them the elevator pitches on this and tell them why we should be so excited about this. What makes this different than other online cons?
Well, I'll jump in first, because Tom and Wendy will be able to just amp it up from there. But one of the big things we wanted is for everyone to have a con experience. So hence we are throwing out there the opportunity to cosplay, and not only cosplay, but Also, show off what your cosplay is, win $500, get your own cover. So there's some incentive to it. And of course, that's something you would find outside of maybe getting your own cover at a con. And there's a lot of other things too that I'll leave some for Wendy and Tom to throw out there. But in talking and I was lucky enough to be included because Wendy and Tom were
very lucky. Yeah,
we're the brave children, and they said, who can we get? And of course they thought of me. And but no, it's everything that has gone into this process has been all about a fan experience, not a Kickstarter experience, a fan experience. It just happens to be a Kickstarter platform that we're using for it. So there's cosplay, there's going to be artist alleys, there's going to be panels, except that for ClickCon it's going to be over the duration of 30 days, not just 3 days in a normal con. And I'll let whoever wants to go from there go.
Yeah, so the idea is to take what Wendy did, which was awesome, and
amazing,
blow it up and make it bigger and more exciting and more interactive. And so while you're going to have your Kickstarter happening, which you will always be getting your Kickstarter, hey, we're at this point and we've unlocked this stretch goal and whatever. It'll also be, hey, on Tuesday there's going to be a cosplay panel, and our cosplayers who are doing catnip and Sireness, they're going to come talk to you about cosplay. And then on Thursday it's going to be I don't know, whatever, breaking into comics panel, and it'll be whoever wants to be on that. And it's not going to be limited necessarily to just us. Those panels are going to be kind of whoever wants to be part of them. So if we have writers and artists and creators that are doing their own thing, but they're not part of ClickCon, the book, the spin-off comics, they can still be part of ClickCon, the event, so that while we're here saying, yeah, you can buy your spin-off comics, we're also going to be able to say, yeah, but here's, whoever, Louis Torres is here, Steph Wilson's here, whatever. And we can expand the entire idea of what Kickstarter can be and what an online convention can be at the same time.
Very cool. Wendy, what do you have to add to this? I know you've got something up there. You've been smiling the whole time.
I am so excited about this. And, I did the first one in January before COVID, and I didn't have access to a lot of the technology that is now available, which is 3 months later. Now everybody's talking Zoom, everybody's talking StreamYard. This was not something that was easily accessible in January. So the fact that I get to take an idea that I had then and now just a few months later, put it on steroids with two amazing human beings who I just adore. I am just on cloud nine because I did the last one by myself, and it was fun and I had a great time, but it wasn't the same. I didn't have that collaboration piece that I think ClickCon is bringing, and we're really uniting the comic community and demonstrating what can be done instead of what always has been done. And I think for me, that is the most exciting part, is just how much all of us are just working together and throwing around ideas, listening to one another, and then, making things work. So when this finally launches on the 12th, it's going to be amazing. And I think people are going to dig it beyond belief. Like, this is just phenomenal. And I'm just too excited. And yeah.
Yeah. One of the, everything that we're doing with ClickCon is kind of pseudo happening online, where, the three of us, we always work together. We promote each other's things. Louis Torres will promote our things. Everybody's kind of, Jim Noble. We all are kind of loosely like, hey, we're doing a thing over here and we'll share and whatever. But this is going to be a really dramatic, like, focused 30 days of, creation of our book, of course, but creation of comics in general, writing, art, We'll probably do Kickstarter panels for those that are interested in just the basics of how you do Kickstarter or Indiegogo or whatever you want to use. But the hyper focus of the convention experience is going to really be what changes this Kickstarter. That is sort of that's the thing that ties everything together. But it is going to be basically a large month-long convention in different ways that hopefully we'll be able to pull off. And I'm sure there's going to be glitches and bugs, but that just means we work those out and we do this again next year.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. And one thing that I want to bring up is that Wendy did mention about this is proving that you can do something that can be done, not something that has been done. And I like that because you're actually pushing forward and pushing boundaries and stepping outside of the wheelhouse, because Wendy set standards that pretty much everybody looked at going, well, she's done it, so we're not even going to attempt it. It's already been done, so that's it. We're going to leave that alone. And then all of a sudden, you three get together and it's like, well, we're going to do this, but we're going to do this bigger. And I'm kind of sitting over here going, how does that get bigger? But now that I'm hearing some of the panels and different things going on, it gives you that full con experience. Like for 30 days, we're going to be at a con, which is phenomenal because it'll make up for most of the year for most of us who are going to.
Yeah, right. And for like for the cosplay contest, the backers are the ones who are going to get to vote. So it's not even a situation where we're sitting here going, we're going to choose our winner. It's going to go to the backers. So we've actually extended the deadline, though. So anybody that's watching, we had it for the 19th, but we're actually extending it to the 26th because the post office is crazy and we know you have to get materials and all that kind of stuff. So we're giving an extra week, which will still give us like a couple of weeks to do voting and stuff. So that'll be no problem. But we're putting that in the backers' hands as well. So again, it's one more experience for them. Where sometimes you get to vote at Cosplay Con. Sometimes there's a judging panel. Sometimes it's by clapping or whatever. But again, we're trying to give them more than just click, I bought your book. Okay, thank you for buying the book. But now look, now you're going to get all of this extra stuff for being part of the Kickstarter. Now you get to be part of ClickCon too.
And that was really important, I think, to all of us, was to make it very inclusive for backers.
Exactly.
You don't, right now when you go and back a Kickstarter, you back it and you might hear from somebody, you might not. One of the things I always do is I always personally thank my backers. Every single person who backs, I go in and I say thank you, and I type a little message out. And I think that's important. But not all Kickstarters do that, and they're kind of more standoffish. And I don't know, I just think that's just kind of how it's been done. And with the con experience, how can you have a con experience if you don't interact with the people that are backing you? I tried with live video, and that was a lot of fun. We did con stories and things like that. But now, with ClickCon, we have an opportunity to invite so many people into the convention and being part of the convention and sharing their experience, that part is super exciting. And I think backers are really going to benefit from that because they're going to be exposed to a lot of different artists and writers and creators and cosplayers that they don't know. So it's not just our little bubble of people that we work with. We're expanding it out. It's not just my bubble. It's not just Tom's or CB's. It's this huge community that we're really embracing. And I think that's really cool.
So Pop's had a question in the thing. It sounds exclusive to backers, and it's not exclusive to backers, Pops, but the backers will have extra bonus opportunities to do stuff. When we do these panels, they're going to be on Facebook or wherever we're going to put them. So anybody will be able to come in and watch the panels and interact with whoever it is that we're going to do. But the people that are backing the campaign, there will be extra things for the people that are actually engaging in the campaign itself too. It's like voting for the cosplay winner.
Yeah, it's almost like getting the VIP pass is all it is, really. Because
essentially, yes, anybody can come, but then there will be the VIP area, so to speak. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can come there and enjoy and watch everything and just have fun with everything and learn and see what's going on. And then that way it gets you energized and ready. So if you can support it financially, do so. But the main thing is get it shared out there. Let everybody know so everybody can come to the con.
Yeah. Even if you're not becoming a backer, but you enjoy the panels, just share the panels. Make sure that they, reach as far as they can possibly reach, and that's fine too.
Now, with the panels, how are you setting those up? I mean, do you have already 30 days worth of panels figured out, and you've got people coming in, or how are you doing that?
It's all a work in progress. As we start to get a little bit closer, we'll all get together and sit down and sort of. We have a kind of a mini list of the types of panels we want to do. Now we just have to kind of take that and expand it. Like, okay, can this be 2 panels? Should this be 1? 2 hours, 1 hour? Who can we get to do it? That's sort of the next step over the next couple of weeks to kind of lock in all of those little extra things. But I'm thinking maybe if we get to do 2 a week, I think that's quite a bit, especially asking the community to come do this with us. So that would be essentially 8 panels over the course of 4 weeks. If we can do more, we'll do more. But we don't want to overdo it. We don't want to oversaturate it. But I think if we had 8 panels that were really focused and we had really cool people that were involved in them, I think that would go a long way.
So the thing that I want to bring up for everybody who's watching this and paying attention to everything that's going on, just to reiterate, this is not just about a Kickstarter, making money, getting books, and it's a one-off and it's done 30 days and everybody's happy because they get money and we get to see the skies open up and money rain from the heavens. That is not exactly what all this is about. This is about bringing what we've missed the entire year in all these cons and giving us the opportunity for 30 days to go ahead and enjoy that once again. Right back here.
Yeah, and this isn't to say that because we've seen all these online cons and stuff. This isn't to say that we're necessarily doing anything better or whatever. This is just a different way of doing it.
Right.
It's an attempt. It's an experiment. It's a what if we did this? What would happen? What's the result? And that's it. All of these different online cons do things different ways. And get different results from them. And this is just another way to try out the idea of the online con. And I think the biggest difference is that, obviously it's longer, 30 days, and you have interactive elements that are going to be, throughout the entire 30 days. Again, not just for watching panels, like that's a lot of online cons are a bunch of people talking about what they do, which is fine. But then we're going to take it into, like the cosplay contests. Some people are actually dressing as our characters. People are going to be photographing themselves, so we get to show people what's going on. The backers will get to vote on who wins, and on and on and on. So the idea is to just kind of try this as another experiment as far as how do we do this, and the tying it to a Kickstarter, but then having people on these panels that aren't involved in the Kickstarter, I think that's unique too, because generally, it's like, hey, it's a Big Dog Inc. campaign, so we're going to Big Dog Inc. people here. But this is already 3 different companies, and so it's going to be the 3 of us and our, specific teams. But, if we're going to do a Kickstarter thing, maybe we get Louis Torres to come in and help do a Kickstarter panel with us, even though he has nothing to do with the book. He can still be part of the ClickCon umbrella.
Very cool. Now, we've brought up several times about the actual cosplay contests, so I want to kind of talk about that just a little bit, because it's a chance at not only a cover, but $500 as well with the cover. I mean, you can actually be on the cover. So I got to ask real quick before we get into this and you start talking about this, CB, with your character, Mighty Might, how much hair does she have on her body actually? Because if I'm going to wear that costume, I got to make sure it looks legitimate. I mean, it's got to look just right.
Well, you're probably going to have to shave them. You may need a wig. I don't know, but no, I'm excited about the. Yeah, the space buns are the key. Other than that, she's really kind of a 18-year-old girl, and she's up to the current fashion, but she has her outfit. So, yeah, I guess I would do shaving though. Maybe some there.
I can't pull off the 18-year-old girl. Sorry, that's not going to happen. I'm just going to have to let everybody down on that one because they were all telling me to do it over here in the audience because, you know, we do everything they say all the time. So tell us about the contest. What have we gotten in and how many people and how's it looking so far?
Well, we don't know exactly yet because the deadline is over a month away.
Right.
But as far as catnip goes, I know of 4 catnips that are at least declared. Now, you never know if they all will come through. Things can happen, obviously. But there are 4 that have declared to me, and 1 I already have seen pieces. So I know that there's 1. So listen, if no one else cosplays, she wins. So, you know, it's as simple as that. We have a winner. It's just a matter of who's going to come and challenge her.
Yeah, I have 1 Sireness that I've seen. I've seen her work, and I know there were 2 others that were like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. So they were doing some research. So we'll see. So that's 3 for Sireness. And I know Mike's got some in the works too.
Yeah, I know of 2 that have hinted at it so far. And so I'm just hoping that we get a whole army.
That would be very cool.
You never know what you're going to get in these things, you know, especially in the weird times that we're in. You know, asking people to spend money on cosplay and so on can get a little weird. So everybody who's going to do, you know, take a shot at this. And I think it's going to be really fun and really exciting as we do the voting for the last 2 weeks.
I'm super excited because it's going to be a Sireness.
Well, as I understand, Luis Torres was going to try for Sireness as well. So I mean, my money's on him for that.
That's what I'm looking forward to. I want to see Luis rocking that.
Hey, if y'all are going to get me, I'm going to put it back. Trust me. So we've got the cosplay contest. We've got all this great stuff going on and everything. We talked last time, and you're probably not going to give me another answer on this one again, but I'm going to go ahead and ask because I want to know, and so do several others that are out here. What about con apparel, like T-shirts, stuff like that?
That was actually in my head today as I was walking around the lake. We have to talk to CB and Wendy about some stuff. I have some thought processes on that. We're definitely going to have something somewhere, somehow. It might even be early before ClickCon, which means we'll probably even be able to do some pre-event stuff. So if you're going to be wearing your shirt and you know, take pictures of it, hashtag stuff, we can probably do some raffles or giveaways for people that are, you know, getting ahead of the game. So keep your eyes open for it.
Very cool. And well, Eve is saying that she needs that shirt. Post that shirt up for the con. Yeah, good luck. We have tried, Eve. We have tried.
Yeah.
Just like we're trying to get CB's shirt that he wears, the sublimated one for
yeah.
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 I do know we have a couple other things that are in the works. We talked about con badges and lanyards, so those are going to be in there because you cannot go to a con without your con badge and your lanyard. Those are like imperative to the experience. So that is going to be in there, and I know we're doing a con program like we had done for Naughty Fairies, which I think is huge, but we're going to have some twists to it. So, and that's all I'm saying. So no evil eyes. I'm watching you.
We also talked about
That's all I'm saying. But I'm excited.
We have kind of photo opportunities with the characters. Yeah.
Shh. That was a secret.
Nobody heard you. It's okay.
Just edit it out. It's fine.
Yep.
It's live.
I need everybody in the DemoNation to go ahead and forget what you heard the last 30 seconds. Just forget it.
No one heard anything. We're good.
Yeah.
Move on.
So, I mean, we've been planning a lot of really cool things that are going to be really unique. And I think that is just going to heighten the experience for our backers and for people who are, watching the panels and watching from afar and sharing out. There's lots of ways to support campaigns, and it's not just monetary. Like we were saying, it's sharing out, it's word of mouth, it's sharing with somebody who, I was telling my sister, blah, 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 blah. And then they end up backing because they just wanted to check it out. And they told another friend. Word of mouth really takes you farther than anything else. It's getting people to share and want to be as excited about a project as you are. And I think that's contagious.
Absolutely. Now,
much more so than COVID.
Amen.
Now, I believe Tom has a bit of a reveal that we want to do tonight. That's something brand new that no one else, aside from Patreons, have seen yet. So if you're not a Patreon, nanner, because we saw it first.
Yeah, you would have seen it. Normally when you guys see the early stuff, you're seeing it months ahead of time. This, though, was a piece that just came in, and I figured we'll go ahead and drop it tonight. And then as we get, we've got about 3-ish weeks left. So everybody that's wanting to know what it is we're doing and who the artists are and so on, watch for that, because we're going to start doing art drops, tonight. And then we'll probably do something next week and on and on and on and on. So all of the art's going to start dropping, but I figured we'll do this one tonight because this one is going to show you the interiors. This is what the interiors will look like, guys. This is JB Netto, who you guys all know from Penny for Your Soul, and a new colorist that I found. His name is Wes Hartman. And this is what the interior of the catnip portion will look like. So CB is going to be doing the mite part. Wendy's going to do the Sireness part. This is what your interior will look like for catnip.
That is very cool. I love the way that came out on there, and then being on top of the gargoyle just gives it that extra look, just that extra darkness, but not. I don't know. It's got more life to the picture with that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yep, it came out great. I am shocked that no one has mentioned something, and that's all I'm going to say. I'm shocked.
Yeah.
Going to mention something. What do we mention?
It's a blatantly obvious thing about this cover, and nobody that has seen it, even on Patreon, nobody has looked at it and said, "Oh, I see that." Nobody. It's really interesting, and that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to let you all figure it out. I don't have to tell you everything.
All right. So everybody in the DemoNation that's watching this right now, let us know what is different in here that he is shocked about that we haven't found. That is a great looking cover, though. I love that thing.
Yeah, it came out great. JB did a great job. Wes did an amazing job on the colors. He was really great with edits. I had a few things I needed changed. Some of the colors in the capes were too dark and so on. And especially since this is basically the first time we're going to ever really see her, I wanted to make sure it was spot on. So it came out good, and I'm excited for it. And that, again, so that will not be a cover, guys. That'll be basically what we're calling the chapter stops, because this is going to be 3 books. So you're going to get a basically an interior cover for each segment of the book. So when you get to the catnip section, you'll have that cover, and then you'll be into the actual story.
Very nice. Now, I believe we had mentioned something about the Artist Alley that we were going to kind of talk about a little bit with that, with what's going on, because I know we've mentioned once before, and we want to reiterate that if you want something commissioned, you can get it commissioned if you'll go ahead and put that stipulation in there so that everybody knows what the if is, because it's a big if.
You can get a commission if you're willing to get a commission of one of our 3 awesome characters, is really the stipulation. But again, kind of like with everything we've been saying, it's an opportunity for the artists that we're bringing into the Artist Alley to do these commissions, to get their work out there. to kind of get our characters out there. And hopefully people are excited enough that, you know, they want some original art that goes with it. So I think that's, and again, to me, that's a big con experience. I've been on both sides of it where I've tried to track down an artist and get original art from them. And I've been lucky enough to be that artist where people have, you know, come to find me for original art. And I'm super excited about that too. Art is what, to me, drives comics. I love it. It's everything I've ever been about and everything I've always loved about the medium. So
yeah, so we're going to have what looks to be 6 people in Artist Alley. And you'll be able to just go, it'll be a reward just like anything else. So you'll say, okay, I want this artist, click it, pay for it. And when you're done, when you're doing your survey at the end with BackerKit, there'll be a drop down and you can pick Catnip, Sirenus, Mite, whichever one you want. And then once it's all done, paid for, cleaned up and done, we send all that information off to the artists and they get to work so that we can send that stuff to you potentially with your stuff. Some of that will really kind of depend on how we're going to deal with sending original art, but we'll try and get it to you either with your package or we'll have them shipped from the artists to you so that it kind of all tries to land at the same time.
Yeah.
Tom, you've got a commission waiting on you. Eve's going to go ahead and commission you directly for a Catnip.
I have a total of 3 blank sketch covers drawn in my 10 years of doing this. One is Ursa Minor. I think the other 2 are both Critter. So it is an option. It's not recommended, but it's there for you.
Otherwise, that's brilliant.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm going to put that.
I want to see that as well.
I'm not sure if I do.
I think Wendy just wins. Wendy just wins. That's just all the way that happens. Wendy just wins.
Yep. Done.
Oh, that takes a lot of fun.
I mean, technically it'd be just like going to a real con, so you'd be seeing the same thing. So yeah, right. Go ahead.
Let's do it.
I mean, how tall is Catnip, Tom? Because that's important if you cosplay her.
Well, she's got those lifts on the boots, you know. She's got a good 6 extra inches of boot. So
she's close.
Yeah.
CB's gonna have to kneel.
Yeah. That's for sure.
Oh, this is messed up. No, I mean the con. I mean, it seems like so much fun, so much energy going into there, and all. It's gonna be 30 days of high impact, high energy stuff that's going on. I know how each of you work on your own Kickstarters, your own cons, and I know there isn't a hump where it gets slow. There isn't those days where I haven't seen anything from this. You know, are they still running this? Did they cut it early? There is none of that. For 30 days, this is going to be pumping through the blood of every single comic book nerd out there to going, I've got to have it. I've got to be a part of this somehow.
Yeah, and the interesting part will be, you know, a lot of times it's you get to that middle of the campaign and it's like, okay, guys, we have an add-on, something else you can buy. But in this case, it's going to be like, well, we're in the middle of the campaign. Guess what? There's 2 panels with, you know, these people that are doing. So it's not just a matter of, hey, give us more money because we're in the middle of the campaign. It's just, hey, we're still doing it, and we have free entertainment for you, essentially.
Yeah.
It's more content incentives than not. So yeah. I think that's a big difference.
And it is. It's a lot of fun because, like I said, you keep the energy going. You're not actually offering an add-on in there. It's just a matter of, we got these great panels that are still going, and you're taking the focus from what you've got and putting it completely on comics for the panels. I love that because it's not like you're just sitting up on the panels going, We've still got stuff for sale. Come on, everybody buy our stuff. It's about, hey, this is how comics are made. This is what is the lifeblood behind this.
Yeah, it's industry talk, and not political industry talk, just general creative industry talk. This is how you do this. This is how you do that. This is how I did it. This is how she did it. That's how he did it. Somehow he did it. I don't know. There's a lot of coattail riding from over here. But
I get so mad at him when he does that.
Who ran the Kickstarter first, Tom?
I know it's on.
Into the Suck that was first, or was it a Big Dog Inc? Coattails, huh?
I'm pretty sure I had 2 before you had one.
Oh, here we go.
Remember, we got to go back to Lights, Camera, Jungle, and Kaiju Epic.
Oh, those were way after Into the Suck one.
Was it really?
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea. I barely knew what Kickstarter was when I started Kickstarter. I mean, I was like, what the hell is going on with this thing?
Right.
I don't get it. And I had a lot to learn. Holy cow. I had a lot to learn. So hopefully, if we do a good Kickstarter panel, or maybe a couple of them, with some people that have figured this stuff out, that might go a long way for the people that are trying to figure it out.
Yeah. Now, do you find that you have to wear a referee uniform whenever you're talking to these guys all the time, or how does that work?
Yeah, this is why the internet is so good. We can just,
There's no paper flying across the room, only because it wouldn't be effective. It just hit the screen and bounce off. So it's pretty safe.
Yeah.
This is as much as I can do.
Yeah. It doesn't have the same impact, so we're good.
What do you do? We get back
like everything froze. You sit there and you start going.
What are you going to do?
Sorry, let's. How
are y'all going to react whenever we do get to the point whenever we're going to have live cons again? You decide to go ahead and pull all 3 of you together to do a con appearance. How are you going to react with that? Because y'all's tables have got to be pretty far apart. And yes, Steph, I said y'all. Get over it.
I just shoot rubber bands,
Yeah.
Well, I think what's cool is all of us. I mean, I've been at shows with Tom. Tom's been at shows with CB. I think I'm the only one who hasn't been with CB at a show because he's on the other side of the country, way far away, not on the West Coast where the cool people are. So
where's that?
So I think that would be that's something we had talked about a couple different times about how can we all get together and then everything shut down and we're on pause. So I know at some point that will happen where all of us are together at a show, whether it's an event that we come up with or a show of some kind, because I think that would just be fantastic. It could be a lot of fun.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, if this goes off without too many hitches and they're easy hitches to fix, and we decide, hey, let's do another one next year, we can see where all the COVID stuff is and what shows are actually happening, and we can say, okay, we're going to drag Wendy out here, and do something out this way. That's certainly an option, a possibility, and it might even be something that is worthwhile to convention. So if there's any convention promoters that are listening to this, and you're basically watching 3 people who are wildly successful with Kickstarter basically every time they do it, and I think that has some value to conventions that are large enough to have people that are trying to figure out how to do it. Guys that are coming in, hey, I want to do art, I want to do writing, I want to do Kickstarter, how do I do this stuff? We've all had to figure out how to do it from the bottom level to, whatever mid-rung we're on now. And so if there's promoters that are watching, we would definitely be willing to talk about having a ClickCon experience, potentially at your show too. So there's 100 ways to do all the stuff that we're doing. But I think if we decide that we're going to do another one next year, like another actual one of these things, we can look at the timing and then just see what the options are and, get Wendy a ticket.
That's all I need.
Yeah.
Now, is that a plane ticket or a bus ticket? Are we doing the easy way or the long way here?
It's Pony Express.
Yeah. The stagecoach is making a comeback.
Yeah,
So start now, Wendy.
I should. I could probably walk faster.
It's about a year trip.
Wendy felt like running. Guys, this has been an absolute blast getting to know the people behind what's going on with ClickCon, because ClickCon as a whole, just as an idea, has a lot of merit to it. It has a lot of energy because it's all about the fans, or should I even say the followers, because fans is one thing. Fans will come up there and they'll look at it and they'll walk away, and that's the end of their day. Followers will come up and they'll not only look at it, touch it, figure out what's going on. They go ahead and tell their friends and tell their other friends and tell their garbage men and their maid and neighbors and everything else. So that's what I see from each of you three individually, is you all have your followers on here. And now to put this thing all together, there's no ceiling that I can see for how far this can actually go whenever you actually pull the trigger on this. And that's going to be happening very quickly, actually. I mean, it seems like we got a lot of time on this, but before you know it, we're hitting that launch button and we're off and running.
Right.
Yeah, it's only about 3 weeks, and then we're rolling. So, we will have fairly soon. I don't know exactly when, but we'll have a landing page pretty soon, so that you guys can go there and click the notify me thing, so that when we do go live, you'll get that notification on day one, so that you don't miss out on anything that's happening on that first day. I'm sure we'll probably try to arrange a panel for that first day of some kind. And go from there. But it's coming together quickly, and like I said, we're gonna have a lot of art drops. I know.
Some really good art drops. Some amazing covers coming.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I caught that.
Did I say anything? I didn't say anything. Not this time.
It's wrong that I had my mouse over the mute button on CB just to make sure he didn't say anything more on that one.
Now we're censoring for CB.
Always spills the beans.
Yeah. Jeez. Now I'm being censored. What the heck?
Wrong show. That's on Saturdays. That's unscripted. Even then, Tom won't tell us stuff on there. It's amazing. I can't get him to say stuff on there either. But no, I'm definitely looking forward to
Tom, because usually he's telling everybody everything. Fix this, fix that, fix that.
Yeah. Get it done, son.
Yeah.
We've got an amazing opportunity to go ahead and enjoy the cons that we've missed. So anybody who's watching this right now live, anybody in the DemoNation that is here right now, anybody who will be watching this later on, don't think of this as a Kickstarter, as a normal, crowdfunding campaign type thing. This is an experience. This is where you can actually go for 30 days and you can say, 2020 can kiss my you-know-what, because I'm going to go back and enjoy my experience at the cons. They're giving you that opportunity. So I'm going to tell you right now, take that opportunity. So as soon as they go ahead and present that button to go ahead and remind you of the launch, go hit it. Get on there. Know what's going on. Stay on top of the information. Make sure you're going to each of these 3 pages and see what's going on. As they have information that comes out, I'll try to get as much as I possibly can, put it on my page as well. But everybody needs to pass this around, because we need a huge following on this so that we can keep doing this.
Well, and everybody is watching on Facebook. We do have a ClickCon group as well. So just look up ClickCon and join us. And there's a couple hundred people there already. So they're getting information as we feed it out. It goes there. We'll probably do some of the panels there as well. So, be a part of the entirety of it, so that you don't miss any piece of it.
Well, if you happen to be needing a host, I know of a guy somewhere, maybe, possibly. He's cheap.
And I hear he's devilishly handsome.
This is very true, too. I have heard that as well. And humble. I have had a blast getting to know y'all a little bit better on all of this. And yes, Steph, I said it again, get over it. And we're definitely looking forward to seeing what ClickCon is going to be bringing to the table. Like you said, 3 weeks out, the energy is starting to get there. Knowing how each of you go ahead and do your campaigns leading up to it, I can only imagine what the posts are going to be looking like, and I am excited to see about what this is going to be, and then leading up to it as well. So what I need everyone here to do is share this out, make sure everyone knows what's going on. They can see this and watch it later on and see what's going on. But everybody needs to get excited because we need as many shares as possible. This is not for me. This is for ClickCon because I believe in this project and I want to see this go very, very far with this. So everybody get involved in this. If you're not excited after watching this video, you didn't have the volume up and you weren't paying attention. That's all I got to say on that end. So aside from that, I could keep y'all here all night long, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with Wendy. I'm going to give you full screen on this. If you'll tell us who you are, what you do, and where to find you one last time.
Hey, I'm Wendy Steenshainer. I'm the creator of Naughty Fairy Stripper Assassins. I'm also part of ClickCon, and Sireness is going to be my character. She's a heavy metal singer, and she's got to fight some of her demons to reveal whether she wants to be the villain that she was born to be. And you can find me on Facebook at Naughty Fairies. You can find me on Instagram at Naughty Fairies, and on my Etsy page at Naughty Fairies.
Very cool. And CB?
I'm CB Zane, and I am the creator of Might, who will be part of ClickCon. You can find me on Facebook. My Facebook page is where I kind of do all my business or bidness. I'm really excited. I wanted to say one last thing. I mean, first of all, Phil, thanks for having us again. I really appreciate it. Wendy and Tom, this has been a blast. I'm so excited to see what else we keep coming up with. But I wanted to say that even though this is part of Kickstarter, I think every single discussion that Tom and Wendy and I have had has always started with, well, what can we give the fans, or what can we give people as part of this experience? And that has led us to some of the things that you've heard about, the reveals that you've heard about. So I encourage people to join ClickCon on Facebook and look for all the art drops and all the little things that'll be dropping between now and then. So
very cool, very cool. And thank you for being here as well. And Tom, you are up. Yes, sir. 7 times.
Just in case there was any question, Jim Noble. So I'm Tom Hutchison. I am the writer publisher of Big Dog Ink Comics. We are celebrating 10 years this year of publishing, along with Critter and her 10-year anniversary. You can find us, of course, on Twitter and Instagram, BDI Comics. We are on Facebook, Big Dog Ink. And, of course, the ClickCon group. Catnip will be first appearing in Spin-Off Comics #1, which will be part of ClickCon on September 12th. And I cannot be happier with what Wendy and CB and I have all been working towards, because I think it's going to blow your minds, assuming it all goes off without a hitch. And we're going to start pushing the dominoes over here pretty soon. So keep your eyes open for art drops and details on cosplay, panels, all that kind of stuff, because it's coming, because ClickCon's only 3 weeks away.
Very cool, very cool. All right. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put y'all back in the green room for now. Please stay back there for a moment. I'll talk to you as soon as I get done with my closing statements. Nobody leave just yet, because I want to go over my closing statements and y'all do not want to miss it. So let me go ahead and drop y'all back, and I'll be back here in just a moment. Thank you again for being here. All right. We had the brains behind ClickCon 2020 up here. I always have a closing statement. Tonight is not going to be any different, and I always base it, or try to base it at least, on my guests that are on here and go from there. The reason I wanted everybody to stick around and wait for the closing statements on this one, because the one that I want to bring up on this is excitement. Now, why would I choose excitement over anything else that I could possibly bring up on here? Whenever I first started this show tonight, I started with the new video on there that was to generate some excitement. Generate excitement not only for my show for me, I don't do this for me. I do this for my guests. So then the guests get up here, and I've got Tom, I've got Wendy, and I got CB up here. We're having a great show. If you don't think there's excitement going around, was anybody paying attention to Wendy? Because she was not stopping smiling the entire time. It is amazing to see it, very uplifting, and it gets me excited just seeing that much energy involved in a project. So I'm going to tell you right now, if you don't get excited about something, then get excited. Find something to go ahead and get excited about, jump on there, and make sure everyone else gets excited. Attitude is infectious. Remember that. That means that if you're negative to somebody, they're going to be negative to somebody else, and so on and so forth. But if you go in and you're energetic and you're pumped up and you're ready to take on the whole flipping world, then you know what? We've thrown more than a pebble out in that pond. We've thrown a damn rock. So attitude is infectious. Get that excitement out there. September 12th. I'll see every one of y'all. ClickCon 2020. Until then, Demon Phil from DemoNation. Keep it indie, y'all.